This changes everything for the New York Yankees. As one of the best free agents available next season, Vladimir Gurrero Jr. has spoken out on his interest in joining the New York Yankees just a few short years after absolutely trashing them and essentially saying he would never sign with the Yankees and would rather not be in the MLB. So we've seen a full 180 that could lead to the Yankees solving their first base problems, and we're going to break all of this down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Yankees Digest. It's Chris here. And guys, if you are part of that 70% that's subscribed and you want daily New York Yankees content, this is the place to be. So make sure to subscribe. It really helps us out a ton. But let's jump into the video, guys, because Vladimir Gurrero Jr. has quickly become a massive name to watch in free agency. As Vladdy, well, things took a turn. I mean, he was obviously a big fan of playing for the Toronto Blue Jays and still is, but then Vladdy spoke out about not getting the contract extension he wanted, and after a lot of negotiations, it didn't work out. The deadline passed, and now Vladimir Gurrero Jr. at the end of this season will enter into MLB free agency as the top first baseman available and one of the top players available, where he could be making up to $500 million on a massive contract that would span around over 12 years. So obviously Vladdy's in store for a big year to prove that he deserves all that money and hopefully increase his price more that he could drive up. And there's a lot of teams with interest. Teams that have already been named by Jon Heyman are the Red Sox, the Mets, the Yankees. We'll see a bunch of other teams as well take their shot on Vladimir Gurrero Jr., adding a player who's just an absolute joy to watch if he's on your team. He's just such a spark plug of a player, really exciting to watch. Great interviews, very fun guy, and well, he spoke on the potential of joining the New York Yankees. Also, complimenting Vladdy still feels weird as a Yankee fan. Still to this day, it feels weird. I feel like I definitely upset someone. But Vladimir talked about potentially joining the Yankees and said every team, all 30 teams, are going to have the opportunity to sit down with me, to talk to me. I'm okay with everything about the New York Yankees. It's in the past, and that is great to hear. Now, obviously, part of this could just be Vladdy using the Yankees as a pawn to drive up his price if the Yankees do decide they want to spend big on the Blue Jays superstar in free agency. Now, the Blue Jays are going to do whatever they can to try to keep Vladdy in Toronto for his entire career. I mean, he's a native of Canada, and it just would be shocking to see him leave, but it's becoming more and more likely as the days pass. Obviously, the New York Mets are going to go insanely hard to try to land Vladdy. The Red Sox could go in on him as well. But after after signing Alex Bregman, which I guess is also hiring Alex Bregman if you want to get down to the nitty-gritty of it. But after their signing of Alex Bregman, it's unclear if that's a one-off by the Red Sox, like when they signed Trevor Story. I almost said hired again. When they signed Trevor Story, and obviously that went horribly, and they're paying him a ton of money, but essentially, ever since that, they didn't sign another big contract until Bregman. So it makes you wonder if the Red Sox are either back to paying people, with John Henry now being interested in paying for big talent, or if it's more just a rumor. Obviously, there will be a bunch of other teams as well interested in the services of Vladimir Gurrero Jr., as there absolutely should be. The man is phenomenal. Last season had a 6.2 WAR and 616 at-bats, 30 home runs, a batting average of 323, excellent contact hitter, great power as well, OPS at 940, which is one of the best in the American League, slugging percentage at 544. The man's phenomenal, great OPS plus and everything, had one of his best years in the MLB, super fun to watch, 4-time All-Star, Gold Glover, 2-time Silver Slugger. So the man absolutely is the marquee first baseman that teams are going to be looking at. There's also another one, but we are going to do a full video on that. That'll probably be coming out tomorrow. But with Vladdy specifically, the Yankees are going to show interest because they do need a first baseman of the future. They signed Paul Goldschmidt to this one-year deal, and it makes a lot of sense that they signed Goldie to the deal. And it's a bridge option. They still want a long-term first baseman, and there's been a lot of names that have flied around, Vladdy being one of them, and one or two of them actually being internal. But Goldie this year will hold it down for the Yankees. Last year at a 1.3 WAR, still an excellent fielder at first base, batting average of 245, OPS of 716. The hitting has gone down, but there's a hope that playing for a New York Yankees team that's trying to win a World Series this year, that Goldie will give it everything he's got left in the tank to try to win a World Series in his MLB career after the 7-time All-Star, multiple-time Gold Glover and Silver Slugger as well, is still yet to add that to his resume. Really the final thing that Goldie would have to add to his resume to just ensure that he's going to be a Hall of Famer. And well, it's going to be hard to do with the Dodgers out there, but I do expect Goldie to have a good year. In his first at bat with the Yankees, he absolutely ripped a monster double in spring training. really exciting to watch. It looked like Goldie might actually be showing signs of that MVP player that he was 2 years ago, which would be huge. But again, not the long-term answer. Vladimir Gurrero Jr. could potentially be the long-term answer for the New York Yankees. And just taking a dive into some more of the news, Vladdy did say, I like to play in New York. This is the old Vladdy that we're talking about. He said, I like to play in New York. I like to kill the Yankees. I would never sign with the Yankees, not even when I'm dead. He had multiple occasions since that where he echoed that he would not consider the Yankees, saying it goes back to his family, he said at one point, and said, that's my decision and I will never change that. So now looking at this, all 30 teams have the same opportunity to sit down with me. It's all in the past. Is it? That's the question. Obviously, the Yankees are interested in Vladdy, but is Vladdy actually interested in going to the Yankees, or does he just want to pull the rug out on the Yankees and then sign with the Mets like what Juan Soto did? And I'll be honest, I think that Vladdy's going to end up on the Mets. I really do. I think he's either going to re-sign with the Blue Jays or end up on the Mets. We know the Mets are going to go all in for him. We know the Mets are willing to outbid anyone because Steve Cohen's just going to throw so much money into this team. It's not done. As I said, the video that the Mets officially signed Juan Soto, I said, look, this is just the beginning. We're going to see a lot more of the Mets overpaying for guys because, well, they frankly just can. Not to say Juan Soto doesn't overpay or act all angry about it. Obviously, I am upset about it, but at the same time, it's going to be an overpay in like 7 years. Right now, it's fine. It is. It's fine. They're trying to win a World Series, made the AL or the NLCS, and then signed Juan Soto. Great move by them. Good present move. They're going to make another one of those. I think it's going to be Vladdy. However, we'll see the Blue Jays also go super hard for them, meaning the Yankees, they should shift their focus to Minetaka Murakami, a two-time MVP in Japan who's coming over in 2025. The next Japanese superstar who's going to obviously just sign with the Dodgers or something. But as of right now, we can dream. Also, the Dodgers don't exactly need a first baseman considering there's Freddie Freeman there. So it is important to note that maybe Minetaka doesn't sign with the Dodgers. However, Brian Cashman did speak out on the Japanese market, and we are going to do a full video on that. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that video. It's going to be really fun. Did a lot of research into that one, so I'm really, really excited to film that. I will film that soon. But there's other reasons why the Yankees shouldn't go all in on Vladdy, and that is, on top of everything, this man right here, Aaron Judge. You make him the first baseman. You also have Cody Bellinger, mind you, as well, who could play first base next year if you want to keep him around. But you put Aaron Judge at first base. He's getting up there. You want to preserve that hitting, like what he did last season with the nearly 11 WAR, having 58 home runs, 322 batting average, 332 batting average, can't read. And also, I knew it was higher than Vladdy's, so should have known that. OPS of 1.159, OPS plus of 223. Mind you, the average OPS is 750, and the average OPS plus is 223, so he either nearly doubled with that OPS and, well over doubled with the OPS plus. The man's phenomenal. He stole 10 bases last year as well, so his base running's been good. Everything about Aaron Judge is phenomenal. The man's just, there's not that much that has to be said. You have to preserve that offense. You have to preserve that bat. The best way to do that is you move Aaron Judge to first base. And what do you do with right field? You sign Kyle Tucker. Tucker last year only had 277 at-bats, didn't show up in a ton of games because of an injury, but still had a 4.7 WAR, had 23 home runs anyway, batting average of 289, RBIs of 49, 11 stolen bases, OPS of 993. He's on the Cubs this year. The Cubs traded for him, but the Cubs also want to cut back money, and I do fully expect Kyle Tucker to leave. This is how you replace Juan Soto after a year without Juan Soto. You get Kyle Tucker, you bring him in. He's a better outfielder, not the same hitter, but he's nearly the same hitter. Kyle Tucker is an elite talent, one of the most underrated players in baseball. I understand that everyone knows how good Kyle Tucker is, but I feel like it still goes kind of unsaid how good Kyle Tucker is. The New York Yankees should fully do whatever it takes to sign him next offseason. That is the move you make, and you let other teams bid for Vladdy while you just swoop into the Kyle Tucker sweepstakes. Obviously, teams are not going to forget about Kyle Tucker, but it feels like Vladdy's the bigger name. Well, Vladdy certainly is the bigger name, but it feels like because he's the bigger name, there's a lot more news surrounding it where the Yankees can more quietly just go all in on Kyle Tucker, which is exactly what they should look to do. Give him $500 million. If Hal has to cut money elsewhere, that's fine. That is what you do. He's younger, so you get a superpower bat once Aaron Judge starts to decline eventually, and Kyle Tucker will still be in his hitting prime, so there's that. This is a great move for the Yankees. It's what you do here. You kind of just let the Vladdy thing go by the wayside, but I am curious to see what Brian Cashman's going to do here because he has a lot of options. It's going to be a crazy free agency. but we have a whole season of baseball before we get into that. So guys, make sure to subscribe for Yankees content, mainly on this season. We're not going all in on some off-season content before the regular season even begins. I'm super excited for this MLB season. It's going to be super fun. It's going to be great. We're going to make a ton of content. Ugo is coming back, and also I believe Kirk should be back soon as well. So you'll get rid of this ugly, massive head, which will be good for everyone involved. Guys, make sure to like the video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Yankees.